If Maya met the perfect, she would not have married herself. You are single because of your option. Now, there's
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Just a Girl Show. My name is Janine if you are new here. If you're new, of course, hit that subscribe button. Turn your notifications on so you never miss an episode. And if you're a subscriber, welcome back to the channel. I just want to preference this, as I've said many times before, but in case you are new here, I am pro-marriage, okay? I am pro-marriage. I would love to see so many women married, i.e. Black women married. If you decide that you don't want to be married, that is okay. That is okay. But I always say, ask yourself, what is the reason I don't want to be? Like, what is that reason? Why is there a desire to not be married, right? Like, what is there a fear attached to it? Is it trauma attached to it? Is it, I'm just too selfish? Like, I always just say, when we decide certain things, it can't just be like, because I don't want to. That's a childish answer. So if you can answer that question and you feel like you came to the right conclusion, and someone was to ask you, why don't you want to be married? Why don't you want to have kids? Or whatever it might be, we should be able to elaborate on that, and it doesn't have to feel like I don't need to explain myself. But it's just with anything. Why don't you like something? Why don't you like this? We can, if we are true about it, and it is our real, it's a thing that we are standing on. I just always say, just be able to answer that question, right? But I say all this to say that Maya, the beautiful Maya, love her, singer. She sat down with Melissa Ford on her podcast. And we know, if you guys seen the video I did a while back, Melissa Ford was engaged like 3 times before. Just, women who have had opportunities, right, to be married, to have a family, and decided to do otherwise. So she's unmarried, no children. And Maya sat down with her, and they talked a little bit about her decision to, decision to not want children, or not desiring marriage. So I'm gonna share this clip and we'll come back and talk about it.
They're wondering how a woman as stunning as you are, that is the object of so many men's desire, and you probably have the pick of the litter, which is another thing that they assume. Wow. Yeah, girl, I know.
It's not even my focus, and it never has been. My mother is an independent thinker. I've witnessed a divorce, between my parents. I've witnessed all kinds of things. My father is a very attractive man. I've witnessed a lot of things. And it's also not been a safe place in my mind as a little girl. So I've always thought a little different. The white wedding dress, I was very fearful of those things. So I looked elsewhere and probably escaped too much in my work and keep going. But also, I think being independent has forced me to show up for myself and obviously family, friends, and this operation, because I have a mission and I have a vision, but it requires me to be gone. And so that's also very, very much fear-filled, knowing that if I have to be gone 95% of the time and my work calls for me to travel, that must be intimidating. And I also can't show up properly for my significant other. But I'm also now spiritually aligned so much where I know that I'm surrounded by love everywhere I go, right? I'm not seeking. And I know that it will be granted to me in divine time. And I'm not worried about it because my life is full of love. And it comes in so many different forms, not just one person. So I've had to recalibrate my brain and not, I think, govern my life off of this fantasy or illusion that we've all been indoctrinated by or taught by. But when you have a vision as well, and you're fighting for empowerment, and especially for your women coming up, if you plan to be a label and sign young girls, et cetera, and be their protector, it requires you to show up differently and also think differently. So it hasn't been a focal point for me. And this is what it looks like.
So again, if you don't want to be married, okay. Right. A lot of women in my comments on my video about Tracy Ellis Ross being in her 40s and, never being married, never being a mother. And I feel like a lot of times our women spend so much time in our careers because we are raised to be independent, career-driven women that we miss our chance. and all the options that we once had, or we thought we were too good for that man, or we thought that our career was more important, that we come to a point where we are later in life, we're older in our 40s, mid 40s, early 50s, and you're now coming like, well, I'm accepting the fact that I don't want this, I don't want that, I don't need that. But that's, to me, my opinion, that is a reflection of you don't have any choice but to kind of settle on the fact that this is where I am. So why not just embrace it versus realizing like, okay, wait, maybe I should have put that to the side before. So she shared that in the very beginning that she had never desired to be, I guess, a part of it, because when Melissa said, like, you are one of the most beautiful women men desire, you can have the pick of the litter, blah, 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 blah. She said, basically saying like, I never really cared about having a man because her mom was an independent thinker and she watched her mom and dad go through things. And I want to touch on that, right? Okay. We will only use marriage for some reason as the one thing that if you see it go wrong, that's the one thing we will stand on, we will never do. But we are living life, right? We see people getting car accidents every day. Somebody loses their life, unfortunately. But we still get in a car and we drive every single day. Every day. Every day. You'll see your mom struggle as a single mom, but you'll still decide to have a baby by yourself and be a single mom. Like, that don't deter you from doing that. But marriage, the one thing we see from our parents, unfortunately, which I understand is a very real reality, but that's the one thing that we will hold on to, that we don't desire because we've seen our parents not do it well. So we don't want it. And to me, honestly, y'all, I feel like, this is my opinion, that is a very cliche answer to not have to be accountable or really answer what happened.
Maya married herself. And I want to talk about if being single by choice is really as liberating or as much of a choice as we are currently talking about it being.
Single by choice is not real.
Explain that.
So when I've been single by choice, it's because I wanted to stop dating for that moment. It's because I knew I had to focus on myself to heal from whatever shit happened the last time.
Okay.
That's the choice. But it's only the choice because it didn't work out. If Maya met the perfect she would not have married herself. You are single because of your option. Now, there's nothing wrong with that.
I'm single by choice, because I am figuring out still what a relationship to me would look like. I just also don't think I have the capacity to deal with an ain't shit person. And I genuinely find people to be shitty. I think the same way you're single for a moment, a happy and healthy relationship is only for a moment.
What?
I guess.
Have you really not met a married couple that's happy?
Absolutely. Again, they're happy for a moment. It's healthy for a moment. And then life happened.
Okay. During this interview, Maya did take a lot of accountability within herself as far as, I guess, just life and things like that and having to do some self-work. So I appreciate that. I do. But I feel like it is very cliche to always go back to, it's my parents, my dad did this to my mom. I feel like a lot of these women don't want to be honest about the fact that I might have really messed up. She did touch on, I got maybe too invested in my career. Lost in it. You did. But when you already say from the beginning, you didn't even, because you're not raised, again, being in the industry, not saying that, that's probably the furthest thing from somebody's mind when you're young and you're coming up and you're, establish your career. I get it. But,
I'm very happy with myself, but that also required me to strip a lot of things that are expected of me on a specific timeline for the society that we grew up in to have. I'm talking about marriage. I'm talking about kids. And if you don't have it, something's wrong with you. Right? But did I desire it? No, not with what I've witnessed and not with what I've been through.
So,
not to say I won't and not to say I'm not open.
Absolutely. But you never, what I say to people, having never been married and also never having children, I always say I never got the memo So when people talk about this biological clock and it was ticking, or they had familial and societal pressure, I never felt it. Did you? And so you're saying
it's never kicked in for me yet.
Mhm.
It hasn't kicked in. I'm like, what is that feeling that I get with puppies? Is that going to happen with babies for me?
Right.
And it hasn't kicked in yet.
I mean, my puppy's over there. She brings me so much joy.
But
the thing about what I love about Beyonce and Jay-Z, I know there's a big age gap, but she was still able to get her a man, okay? Lock that man in and still be the Beyonce that we know today, right? She still did it, right? So, and there's many women, Black women, Angela Bassett's, right? That were younger, still building their career, still coming up, met their husbands, got married, and still was able to be the stars that they are. So when I hear women say that I got immersed in my career, that's a mindset of you are really trying to be that independent. I don't need a man. Because again, are you so gung-ho on my mom and my dad didn't work out, so I'm going to, like it's wild to me that this is where we go when it comes to marriage, right? And I'm going to share this piece because Maya married herself before, right? And I'm going to share this clip of her talking about that decision to marry herself and come back and talk about it.
2020, on Valentine's Day, you married yourself for your music video, The Truth. Why did you do that?
Well, there's this narrative and a lot of questions that have come about in my career, especially in my later career. Why are you not married? Why do you not have kids? There's been many proposals, etc. But what I wanted to convey was a different message. It was in the music video, and I think what happened in the press with just one picture and the fixation was shown. Oh, you're conceited. Why did you marry yourself?
No.
This is just to men. No, that's not what this is. Now people are asking me what my secret is. My secret literally is marrying myself spiritually and committing to myself in all areas of my life where maybe I was lacking.
So yeah, she married herself. That was her way of healing. Just being more centered, being close to herself, just a whole lot of inner work. And that's what she came to the conclusion of marrying her damn self. Wow. You're dating a man. He's wanting to marry you. There's engagements happening, possible engagements. So that means that at one point in time, you were open to the idea of marriage, and that's okay. I hate the fact that these women get to a certain age and they downplay marriage. And they make it seem as though they never wanted it, to make themselves feel better about not having it. That is what we do as women. To make yourself feel better about not having that marriage or never being married is to say, I never wanted it. Not having those kids is to say, I never wanted them. Not having a career that you desire is saying, I never cared about the job anyway. We don't like to feel the reality of where we are. So instead of facing it, we'll just say, I didn't care anyway. She didn't care anyway. Again, that doesn't make sense. This is why I believe that there is a breakdown in what these women say. And they have no other choice at this point in their lives to just say, I didn't want it. But my thing about the comments, right? Again, you can do what you want to do. Okay. I just want you to really pay attention to what I'm saying and this whole picture that I'm painting for you, to be mindful if you are a woman who, especially if you're younger and you're like, oh yeah, I want to be like Maya. I love that. She's beautiful. She got this. I want you to really listen, because she might be saying one thing and doing a totally different thing. She's here now, but if she could switch places with somebody else in a heartbeat, she might do that. Right. I think the problem is that we don't want to just come out and say that I did want that. I put my career first, and I'm so mad that I did that, because now I feel like I'm so stuck in my career that I I now don't even know what to do or how to figure it out, or I'm struggling to date. I'm struggling to do this relationship thing because my career has been my everything. I would rather you say that if that's how you feel, right? That's honestly how you feel, because you're not just dismissing the fact that I never wanted it anyway, which is wild. If you did, my other problem with that too is, why can't we say you did want it? It just never happened. I just feel like, what's wrong with saying that you did want it? I just feel like it's always, I never wanted it. I never wanted it. But I want to share this next piece of the clip because I want to emphasize my opinions on this and what I believe God put us on this earth to do. So here we go.
But
But I have godchildren.
mm-hmm.
I have nieces. I have nephews. I have like nieces and nephews from friends too. They're not necessarily blood related. So I have lots of children in my life.
And sometimes that's enough.
Yeah.
Especially with how busy you are.
Yeah.
Always on the road.
Yeah. Not to say it's not possible.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not open to it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm open to all things. But right now I'm on a specific assignment. That's all.
My question is, what is the assignment? Because if you've been on this assignment for the last, let's give you 30 years, if you have not done the assignment yet, it's time to get into to start all over and do another assignment. Honestly, because the God that I serve, what we were put on this earth to do, his assignment was for us to come together, man and woman, and procreate and continue to create families, create children. That's the assignment that God had for us to be man and woman, be married, and have our families, and just keep on growing. Follow him, trust him, serve him. That's what he put us here to do. From my understanding, that is the assignment for us as women. Now, again, we can choose to do what we want to do because he has given us free will to do as we please. But his assignment, the assignment said do A, B, C, and D. You decided to just do A and D and do your own thing. But that was not his specific assignment, in my opinion. And I think that women spend so much time on these assignments that they never finish anything. They've been healing. They've been on their healing journey. They're on that assignment. When are you going to be done the assignment? When? At some point, you got to be done with it. Honestly. I say this all the time. I don't want our girls to grow up and go in this whole in your 20s, live your life, do your thing. No. Do it in a smart way, in a healthy way, in a beneficial way, that you don't have to spend your 30s and 40s healing and cleaning up what you did in your 20s. Because that's all you end up doing. You are still healing and on that same assignment from when you was 21 and then you 45. No, ma'am. So I'm not here to, beat Maya down in any way, but I do feel like just women of a certain age group and age, and especially when you have a certain career, I think that there's always this, like, I don't think they're being honestly about their love life and how they got to the point where they are today. I know she said there's trauma, what she's experienced, but even that, it's like we do a lot of things that we see people go through and we still do it. So why does marriage have to be the one thing that we demonize? We demonize it so badly. And then women get mad at you when, like for myself, they get mad at me when they're like, why you always want women to be married? We don't got to be married. Okay, sister girl. Okay. Same way you encourage women to be single, I'm encouraging women to be married. Why you mad at me? Why are you mad at me? But let me know your thoughts on this topic. Again, I am pro-marriage. I'm a big advocate for marriage, healthy when it's done right with two people, men and women coming together, creating a family, and it's a beautiful thing. And I would love that. I would love for Melissa Ford and Maya to both be able to have that love, family dynamic, even if there's no children involved, just you and your husband are still a family. Okay, so let me know your thoughts in the comments on this topic. Hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed the conversation, of course. Subscribe to the channel. Join the Patreon. The link is in the description. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.